Melissa commented that she used to feel less than a true artist because she didn't paint plein air. She didn't paint outside doing her landscapes. I know the traditional way of painting in the olden days was to paint outside, but I think that was because years and years ago photography hadn't really become a mainstream thing, and so the only way of capturing these landscapes was by painting outside, and I think that became the traditional way of doing things, and the way how artists were seen doing it the correct way, painting from real life. But I think in the modern world it's perfectly acceptable to paint from reference photographs. It's certainly something I've been doing for the last 20 years. I've tried painting outside but found it doesn't really suit me for one reason or another. There's a few reasons really, I suppose. Having somewhere private where you don't be disturbed. Just finding a great view in itself is difficult, especially if you like painting things that aren't in your local environment, like big mountains and lakes and things like that. Maybe you live in the city and you don't have access to these kind of vistas. But then it also occurred to me that we're talking specifically about landscape painting. It's not that portrait artists don't necessarily paint outside. People who paint still lifes, abstract paintings. There's loads of landscape painting. It's just one subject within a whole world of art. And so if there's all these other artists painting different types of subjects in their studios, what difference does landscape painting make? You can paint landscapes indoors the same as you can paint any other topics, still life or whatever. And what if you're not mobile? There's no reason why people with disabilities shouldn't be seen as less as an artist just because they can't go to their local mountain range and paint the views. So I've come to the conclusion that it's perfectly okay to use reference photographs, and don't worry if you can't paint outside, paint from real life. It really doesn't make any difference.